Hey, this is Laura Gladney-Lemon, and I'm going to show you how to use Airbnb. So basically, when you're using Airbnb, you're signing up to rent a housing, either a room or a complete house, from an individual. So you need to know that. Also, I want to make the preference, I want to make sure that I'm clear that you need to select the full house if you don't want to be staying like in a room in somebody's house. I neglected to mention that to somebody once, and their husband didn't think it was so awesome that they had literally a roommate situation in Boston. So I always make sure to talk about that really early on. Okay, so I don't actually have any super big trips that I know for sure the dates coming up, but I do know that I am going to be going to San Francisco. I expect San Francisco to be super expensive because I know rent in San Francisco is really expensive. Um, so I may not find great Airbnb deals. About half the time I find cheaper Airbnbs than I do hotels, and sometimes I find cheaper hotels than Airbnbs. It really depends on the market. So you really should just look. The reasons I like to use Airbnb. I like to have a washer and dryer, so we don't have to pack as much. And I like to have two bedrooms. So my husband and I have a room, and my daughter has a room. If you consider that we're getting two bedrooms, or like a bedroom and she can sleep in the living room on the couch or pull out or whatever, it's almost always cheaper than getting a suite. Not always, but most of the time. But if we're taking an extended vacation out of the country, I really don't, and we're riding public transportation, I really don't want to haul around three huge suitcases. So I really want that Airbnb, really just for laundry. To me, that's like the biggest deal. I have never stayed in an Airbnb when it was just my daughter and I traveling. I'm sure probably 99.99% of the time it would be fine. But for whatever reason, I just prefer the hotel. Because in my mind it's safer. I don't know if that's true or not. In my mind, it's safer when it's just my daughter and myself. I may one day change my mind and stay at an Airbnb when it's just us, but as of right now, that's been historically what I've done. Okay, so I'm guessing these rates are going to be expensive, so we're going to learn together. Um, but here's how you would search. You pick out what city you're going to be there and when you're going to be there. And I'm going to be there sometime this summer. I don't really know when, so I'm just going to pick some random summer days. Let's say June 21st, and I will be there through the 25th. And my husband actually won't be going with us on that trip. So it will be one adult and one child. And then we'll go ahead and click apply. Now, some places won't let you take children to their hotel, to their um, Airbnb. However, I have found that if I contact the seller directly and say, hey, I promise you my child has traveled, we have really good reviews. That's the other good thing. That's the other thing about Airbnb. You are both giving people reviews and you are getting reviews. So, like to me, that makes me like I like to think I'm a good guest anywhere I go. But do I personally sweep the hotel room before I leave it? I absolutely don't. Do I sweep somebody's Airbnb before I leave it? You bet I do. Just because it's worth, 20 extra minutes at checkout to make sure they think that I'm really clean, even though that's a total lie. Really neat and tidy. I mean, I am clean. I'm just not neat and tidy. And so if they will believe that about me and write that for the next person to review, then awesome. Okay, so here's what I do. I've searched for it and then I'm going to a house type. Again, if you want to have the entire place to yourself, make sure that you've checked that. Um, I definitely wouldn't want to end up in a shared room situation. So let's go ahead and apply that. You're going to see prices jump up, probably actually not too bad. And then what I really love about Airbnb is you can search in, you can zoom in like specifically to neighborhoods. Another thing you might consider, like in staying in San Francisco, is like staying over in Oakland. I'm definitely going to be wanting, I know San Francisco has a really good BART program, so I'm going to be checking to make sure that it has, it's going to be close to public transportation. I'm going to use that by having up maps.google.com in my other browser window. And here I'm going to do some more choices here. Specifically, this is where I make sure I have my amenities. I told you, I really love a washer and a dryer. And I really love, well, I guess just a second room. So I need to make sure that there are going to be, I'm not going to select two beds because my daughter's still young enough that she can sleep on a couch, on the floor. It doesn't really matter where she sleeps. She's going to be okay. Maybe not the floor. Um, the other big advantage of the Airbnb is you can save a ton of money by making your own breakfast and dinner, and packing your lunch if you want to. That actually really adds up quite a lot. All right, so I want my kitchen. I want my um, washer dryer, and then I can just like zoom in to like an area or areas that I'm interested in. And then I'm going to go to price because frankly, I'm not going to play this average nightly rate of $409. That's just not going to happen. So I'm just going to zoom on down till I have, like just a little bit of the tail end of the bell curve to look at. And then I'm going to say I'm willing to pay between $10 and $139 a night. So then I'm going to apply, and then a lot of things are going to go away. So then I'm going to just kind of like scroll through. And I'm a big believer in the star system, like I was telling you. So 17 reviews, 5 stars, 103 a night. It's right near BART. There's free parking. I mean, it doesn't look super fancy. You can click through the pictures, but I mean, you know, $103 a night. I would consider this for sure. Um, I'm gonna keep going through just to see if there's anything else that I really like that I think looks better or that I'm just, particularly in love with. And I'm actually pretty interested in this. I don't know. You need to make sure, I was pretty interested in the first one. You do want to make sure, though, that you're paying attention to the total because there are extra fees involved with Airbnbs. Like they'll charge a cleaning fee. So this $90 a night and $95 a night, it's not all the same. It's the $429 total is what you want to be paying attention to. So let's go back up to my first one that I thought was okay, 516. Well, that's not looking as good. I mean, I guess it is more expensive, but would I rather spend, and then of course location's gonna play into this too when I'm really making a booking, but I'm just kind of trying to show you an example. All right, so 84 a night, that looks kind of cute. Has only 4 reviews. That kind of scares me. If it only has like, this has only 1, that makes me nervous just because we want somebody who, has been in it for a while because we want to know that they're going to be in it still when summer rolls around, that they're not just starting this up and then they decide it's a pain and they cancel it on us the last minute. So what I'm going to do, and then, there are more to look at. Actually, no, they're not. They're only 18 to look at. So these are my choices. So I'm going to start really looking at, what are the totals? I'm going to look more at the pictures. I'm going to actually go in and read the reviews. So let's go to my like 90 somethings tonight that I was looking at. And I'm going to read their little description and This looks nice and airy. Oh, but look, there's no couch for my daughter, so nope, moving on to another one. So they say they have six. Oh, look, they're definitely a separate room for my daughter. So yay. All right, this is definitely a possibility for us. $429. I love it. But there are only two reviews. So, I'm not as excited. I'm willing to pay a little bit more to make sure that, it's still going to be there when I get there. So here's 548. It's a cute studio with a review, 96, 4.5 stars. Free cancellation, Superhost, 548. It doesn't say anything about close to BART, but it does say parking. So that's, something to consider. And then I think I'm going to go up to the first one still that I found for my 516. I really like that right near the BART. See, but look, it's out in the outer skirts, so we're going to be riding the metro for a while. And then, so as you can see, you're just like looking pros and cons of everything. But I'm going to go back and like look at this a little bit closer just to show you what I'm looking for. So I see that there are multiple beds. Like I said, it's just going to be my daughter and I. The cleaning fee is reasonable, the service fee is reasonable. You want to check out the cancellation fee because they can set their cancellation to be pretty much whatever they want. So, and then also read all of the reviews. The reviews are really important. They will tell you things like, this was really great, but they don't have a stovetop, or this was perfect. I mean, you can read these reviews, spotless. I love to see clean. That makes me happy. Clean and comfortable. A couple of, I saw them mentioning the BART being close by. So I'm feeling pretty good about this place. Um, and then I can look at all the amenities. It'll tell you the check in, the checkout. And then I like it. I don't mind being on the subway for a little bit because I can also have a rent a car and like take day trips from there. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, yep, this is my spot, and then I'm gonna book it. So for $516, I have it's about an average of what, like 130 a night. That's not too bad, I think, for the San Francisco area. I'd have to look to be sure. Um, Maybe in San Francisco, I would end up staying in a hotel, especially if it were just my daughter and myself. I'm more likely to stay in a, like I said, hotel. But anyway, that's basically the long and short of how you use Airbnb to find a place that you will enjoy. All right, let me know if you have any questions.